It's kickoff time, ladies and gentlemen. Kingers of the Stallions. Lawrence Ndungu with a high kickoff. Flying high but not getting the ball is Dennis Abukuse. Lawrence Ndungu passing it to Duncan Shamala. Shamala to Brian Ondieki. Zulik Buyuni looking to test the Menengai Oilers defensive line. That's a dive into the ruck. Referee allows play to continue. Frederick Odhiambo takes contact. But he's isolated and a turnover ensues. An uncharacteristic error there. Samuel Mora hurriedly asking Oilers to do things with a different pace. The outside channels there. Oilers attack. And the players bundled into touch. Bundled into touch was Nelson Makoha. Line out for the Stallions. They rise high. Duncan Shamala. Tackle there by Zulik Buyuni looking to test. Menengai Oilers on the outside channel. Manuel Shamala coming back again. And there goes Obed. Obed passing it to Zulik Buyuni. Zulik Buyuni who loses the ball forward. And the referee right on hand. That pass needed to go to hand. That pass needed to hit the mark. It was a clear line break there for Zulik Buyuni to the try line. But that's an opportunity gone begging there for the Stallions. An opportunity for Oilers to show us what they're made of. Attacking from their own half. Samuel Maura, the ball in hand, looking to feed the scrum. Solid platform there for the Menengai Oilers. They come down the open side. That is Songi, passing it to Makoha. Around the outside channels, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Menengai Oilers looking for their opening try, but once again, bundled into touch. Strong defensive effort there. Oilers still having quite a tough task trying to open this Stallions defensive line. Line out is stolen, but the ball goes into touch once again. Knocked forward. The Menengai Oilers opting to go for a scrum down. In the middle there, they have Daniel Kipchirchir, Anthony Owino. However, they do have Samuel Maura, who knows nothing but how to create tries. And that is try time. Try time, Dennis Abukuse. I beg your pardon. Beg your pardon, that wasn't a try. That's a scrum down awarded to the Stallions. Duncan Shamala fitting the scrum down, coming down the blind, and opting to play away from their own try line. That is Daniel. That is Alvin Cavoli, who's well taken care of. Kipchirchir, another tough customer to deal with. Obed scatters, campers, and an overlap. 4 out wide. Attackers waiting for the ball to be fed to them. And there you have it. Second time of asking. Dennis Abukuse. Try time. Menengai Oilers. Surely with an overlap of 4 people on the outside channels, the Menengai Oilers had to land their first try. Failing to score a few seconds or a few minutes earlier, Dennis Abukuse makes amends. Meanwhile, he has a beautiful boot, and that is a shot worth the money. Just simple passing. The ball travels faster than the man, just allowing the ball to do its work on the outside channels. And a quick restart there by Oilers, looking to catch Stallions napping. A high tackle, hint of a high tackle, referee playing an advantage. Zulek Buyuni is a really fast individual. Dungud, there goes Obed, isolating Dennis Abukuse on the outside. But Dennis Abukuse staying strong on defense. Freddy, Zulik to Brian. Brian isolates. Shamala. Duncan is tackled. Oilers, no clear release. Penalty awarded to the Stallions. Well, something to do for the Stallions would be that one last pass, that confidence build up. That is all that is needed, because they are strong on defense and have been putting his hand up, or their hands up. Prehended there. Fortunaturo takes contact. Atsongi clears the rack. Dennis Abukuse. Bitwale Bwesonga and company. That Kipchirchir, fresh from representing the Kenya Under-20, ladies and gentlemen. Passing it to Felix Makoha. I beg your pardon, that's Nelson Makoha. That is a knock-on. And the referee signals for halftime as Nelson Makoha loses the ball forward. The halftime scores: the Menengai Oilers 7, Stallions Rugby 0. Second half coming your way. Abutwale Bosonga looking to kick us off. That's a beautiful 10-meter restart. Tapped backwards. Sami Mora looking for who has the will to run through. Makoha to Alvin Cavoli. Alvin Cavoli looking for a customer to run through. Ruck is made. Makoha. Arturo Fortune. And with Fortune it is alarm bells ringing. Try time. Menengai Oilers. In goes Fortune Arturo. Fortune Arturo goes over. Conversion is successful by Dennis Abukuse. Bring the scores to the Menengai Oilers 14, Stallions 0. Remember, this game will be signaling the morning round of fixtures in the Sportpesa National 7th Circuit. Coming to you live from the Mombasa Sports Club. We'll be having a 10-minute break after this. Remember, we'll be having a show coming your way known as Hard Tackles. We'll be talking about nothing but rugby. Most importantly, definitely, we'll be thanking all our corporate partners. Thank you so much, Sportpesa, for coming through massively for this year's National 7th Circuit. Once again, coming through in all categories. That is for the men, Division 2, and of course the ladies' 7th games. There is Cedric Abiniza losing the ball forward. An advantage being played there by the referee, but advantage not taken by the Menengai Oilers. That is a scrum, ladies and gentlemen, for the Menengai Oilers. Yes, as I was saying, Sportpesa have come through for women and of course the men's 7th games this year. And remember, these are the games that decide who makes it to the National 7th team. This is where the selection is made. This is where we discover future Patrick Odongos. This is where we discover the future Andrew Amondes as they lose the ball forward. Referee was playing an advantage, pulling the play back. This is where, ladies and gentlemen, you find the future Lawi Buyachis of this world. This is where the Kenya Sevens is made. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're joining us from far and wide, we are live courtesy of Sportpesa. As always, Sportpesa making it count. Remember to gamble responsibly, but most importantly, the part and parcel of this year's Sportpesa National 7th Circuit. On the attack, Abtwali Busonga to Jenkins, taking 1, 2, 3 players in his wake and looking for that try line, losing the ball. Referee awards a penalty. Meanwhile, the Menengai Oilers battling hard. Ball is held up. Referee will be signaling and consulting her assistant. And that is confirmed. The ball was held up in goal. Scrum 5 meters out for the Menengai Oilers. In goes Kipskei, Emmanuel. Off goes Brian. For Stallions, Brian Ondieki makes his way off. A long-time servant of the Stallions Rugby, Brian Ondieki. Meanwhile, a player is on the floor, requiring medical attention as the game takes a breather. You can see there the ball is held up. A good, honest battle there at the breakdown as Oilers look to sneak in yet another try, their 3rd of the game. Samuel Maura will be restarting this game with a feed to the scrum. Young man in your picture there, the Stallions' shortest player, that is Lawrence That is Ronnie Kariuki, one of the young chargers coming through at the Stallions Rugby. Ball is stolen there. Cedric Abiniza passing it to Obed Sore. The referee pulls play back once again. Hint of a scrum not operating as it should. Makoha comes off. Replacing Makoha is Brian Achacha. Sammy Mora feeds the scrum once again. Second time of asking. Swinging the ball to the midfield. Kipchirchir to big wrecking ball. Builder Dogeta. Continuing down the blind as Stallions battle defensively. Sammy. Builder changes gears. Knocks the ball forward. Or is it backwards? Builder. That is Kipske Emmanuel taking on Abukuse. Keegan Clarkson passing it to Brian Achacha. Achacha taking 1, 2, 3 defenders. Into an offside there. Kipchirchir. Big, tall, lanky Kipchirchir. Takes on the defensive line. Ball is knocked backwards. Advantage is over, signaled by the referee. Tackle is complete. Turnover good. Knock on. That was a clean turnover, but the ball was knocked forward. That is a scrum advantage to the Menengai Oilers. Changes for the Menengai Oilers. In goes number 6, Calvin Malewa. Coming off is Daniel Kipchirchir, number 7. Another messy scrum there. All comes on the Stallion side. Sammy Mora fits the scrum once again. 50-50 there. Going down the blind side is Keegan Clarkson. Looking for his forwards who've come out of that scrum. Keegan. Sammy. Sammy to Achacha. Achacha has an option on the outside but opts to go. And it is try time. Menengai Oilers. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Brian Achacha coming through for the Menengai Oilers for their third. Oilers 19, Stallions 0. Achacha. Conversion attempt from out wide is unsuccessful. Dennis Abukuse trying to add the extra 2, and the center referee signals for the end of that. It has been an exhilarating 14 minutes, a comprehensive one for the Menengai Oilers as they take their first win of match day 1. Full-time scores: Menengai Oilers 19, Stallions Rugby 0. Well, we will be looking at a 10-minute break as we see a full-time score of that match. The Menengai Oilers taking that one 19-0 against the Stallions Rugby.